It is so exciting to see you. Hey, come on in, please. Please stop by. Let's visit. Well, my name is Vickery, and I am noted as the voice of generational wisdom. One thing that helps in that regard is I've been around a long time. I want to start off. I got to tell you something about my past. Oh gracious, I'm not even going to say how many years ago it was, but many of you know I was a professional baseball player and I was a pitcher. And it was my first full season in professional baseball. And I'm playing up in the Pioneer League, probably the most beautiful league in baseball league in the country because you had all those beautiful sites, Yellowstone, the Grand Tetons. You just go on and on. It was absolutely gorgeous place to be playing baseball. I was my day to pitch, and it was a particular um, cool day early in the season. Not that that made any difference, but I was involved in one of the most unusual plays to ever occur in professional baseball. I made a pitch, and a batter hit a line drive back toward me, and I got my glove up just enough that it tipped the end of it. And when my head went back this way, my cap started to fall back off my head, and the ball got caught in the cap. And it fluttered out, and the second baseman caught it. Now, the interesting thing about this is that the base umpire, we only had two umpires, a home plate umpire and a base umpire. The base umpire called the batter out. And here comes the opposing manager wide open toward the mound. Now, understand the ball did hit my head, and I'm kind of wallowing around on the ground. And here comes the opposing manager with a few choice words for the umpire. And before he ever gets to get in the umpire's face, he is tossed out of the game. So here I am, as I mentioned, I'm laying on the ground, and the opposing manager stumbles on me, falls, and as you said, he had a few choice words for the umpire. Well, the home plate umpire then gets in the act, and he supposedly checks his rule book, and he says, no, the batter is not out. He's safe. And the reason he said that was because the rule said an out can only be created if the ball is in your hand or in your glove. Well, in this case, it was in my cap. So he changed the ruling. Now, guess what happens? Here comes our manager out with a few choice words, and he's tossed out of the game as well. Now, I don't know, how would you rule it? But the interesting thing is, it was the only noted play where both managers were tossed out on the same play. And the reason I bring that up, because the day that I'm presenting this is the day that it occurred. As I said many years ago, it has nothing really to do with what I would like to share with you today, but I wanted to share that bit of history with you. I want to share with you that progress is always out front. So you know what you have done, you know how far you've come, but you don't know what you're capable of doing. You don't know how far you can go. You see, the challenge before each one of us every day is to keep expanding our horizons as if there are no limits to our potential. It's a challenge that we meet when we're always striving to be better today than we were yesterday. You see, we're limited to the extent, obviously, that we can satisfy our dreams, our desires, all the things that we really want to accomplish. We're limited by our talents, our abilities, and our resources. But the most influential limit is not what we are, but rather what we decide to do with what we are. Few things in life limit us as much as the attitude of playing it safe. You see, a safe place, and I think I've said this in a previous time that we shared together, a safe place is not necessarily a secure place. The only safe place that will be secure is not where we are right now. It's up the road. And when we arrive, it will be either further up the road. Because as I said, progress is always out front. A law of life states that we either progress or we regress. We don't stand still. Progress is dependent on stepping out of our comfort zone and venturing beyond the familiar to engage the unfamiliar. Progress is stymied, you see, when we sit back and wait for something to happen rather than attempt to make something happen. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, as true today as the day it was first spoken. Taking measured risk is a price that must be paid to make progress. Being afraid to take even minimal risk may lead to avoiding the pain that comes from attempting something that's important, that's big, but we fail at it. But you see, if we make the effort, if we stick our neck out and really go for it, and we don't make it, guess what? We're better off for it. Because, see, we wouldn't have a chance at possibly succeeding if we did take the opportunity. So I feel like very strongly that if we are to progress, we have to extend ourselves beyond the ordinary to seek the extraordinary. Very little is accomplished when we wait for all the possible roadblocks to be overcome before we ever really make the real effort to see what we are made of. The future is always uncertain, but by making a first effort, we make the future less uncertain than it otherwise would be. So when there's an openness to new experiences, we're not imprisoned by comfortable habits. We're not trapped by routine. We do not cling to the unproductive. We do not overseek security or choose the path of least resistance. We tend to face the challenges before us with a staff in our hand instead of a crutch. Beethoven, the great music composer, had a favorite maxim. He said that the barriers are not yet erected, which can say to aspiring talent, thus far and no further. Think about it. Thus far and no further. That's not what we're made of, is it? It is where we want to be. Means that we move further. We advance, regardless of the time and the condition, the surroundings. We make a solid effort. Our wisest decision today is one where we do the things that will help us to stretch out for a better tomorrow. It's important to understand that every skill, every technique, every bit of knowledge we acquire, every thought we think, unites us with the future. What we do today is going to be a part of the rest of our life. So don't wait until conditions are right before acting. If there's something that's really crucial to you, something that you really want to do, don't wait for necessary changes. Don't wait until you have more time, until you feel more comfortable, until you're in a better position. Go for it. Just do it. Starting right where you are just as you are. Make the best of less than the best at whatever you're doing. Progress depends on the effort. Make the effort. I'm Lou Vickery, and in our next session, I will be sharing with you our new book. It's entitled, Where Are You Going? A sales, marketing, and life guide for an entrepreneur. In a heart and a way, we all are entrepreneurs, even if we're involved in a company. So we'll share more of that with you on our next visit. So until we meet again, hey, you keep a smile on your face. You keep happiness in your heart. And you keep optimism on your tongue. See you soon.